Hello, hello, and welcome to another Rang Rouge unit of the Reek, and today we're taking a look at the Beute Firefly, available to the Trophy SS Panzer Division. So we also know what the Firefly is at this point, but the better question is what the hell was the Trophy SS Panzer Division doing with a captured Firefly? Well, I asked Madman himself, and pretty much the source from it comes from Kurt Meyer's memoirs, and essentially in the memoirs it stated that they managed to capture a British Firefly and they used it in their reconnaissance battalion. They didn't use it as a recon vehicle, but to back up the recon vehicles as a tank destroyer, fire support tank. There are other instances of Fireflies being captured. For example, the 1st SS Panzer Division managed to capture a Firefly from the 7th Armour Division from the British, yes, the Desert Rats Division. So, yeah, it's a bit hard to actually find the official source, but this isn't just made up nonsense. In battle, the Beute Firefly is a single A-phase unit, available for a whopping 200 points, and it has 2 weapons. So, of course, we got the dreaded 17 pounder of 6 accuracy, 6 rounds a minute, 16 AP, and 77 AP shot, no HE, and a range of 1.2 kilometers. So it's a tank killer. This thing will pretty much kill almost all allied tanks it comes across, and it has enough ammunition to kill like a couple platoons worth, even more, without having to reload. And then you got the machine gun, just a single M1919, nothing too crazy. Pop down to the miscellaneous stats. You got 11 frontal armor, 6 outside, and 6 on the back, with an enclosed top. Very bad stealth, a speed of 28 km off-road and 63 km on the road, and very low optics capability. So in battle, the Beute Firefly, heck, where do we even begin? Well, I do want to note that during the closed alpha of this game, this thing did have high explosive shells, and yes, it was as overpowered as it sounds. Thankfully, they removed that. But anyway, the Beute Firefly is pretty damn good in terms of killing tanks, and really only tanks, as pretty much in A phase, not much can really threaten you in a run-on-run engagement, except for maybe Wolverines or Hellcats, but even then you have the armor advantage. But it comes to everything else is where you're terrible, as AT guns is your major weakness, as you literally can't do anything about it, unless you can get in 600 meters, use your machine gun, but by that time, those 6-pounders are going to easily penetrate you. Yo, max range, the 6-pounders are going to have a bit of time penning, as you have your 11 frontal armor. And also infantry support, just, no, that's not going to happen. So, to really describe when you should get a Beute Firefly, I've made this chart. A highly detailed chart, as you can tell, and essentially it boils down to is that you want to be fighting against a division that has tanks in A phase, and you have an open map to work with where you have 1.2 kilometer engagement distances, is when a Beute Firefly is useful. And then it comes down to do you get at the start of the match, because I wouldn't really recommend getting the Beute Firefly right when the match begins, because at 200 points, it's 40% of your starting income on one tank, and when, you know, the start of the match, it's pretty much a land grab. It's probably much better just to buy 3 Pack 38s and some recon to spread around, instead of one concentrated tank. You need to try to have map control, and that's kind of the Beute Firefly's other weakness. But we can't talk about the Beute Firefly without mentioning its BFF, the dynamic duo, the Beute Cromwell, because the Cromwell deals with all the Firefly's weaknesses. It has the same range, and it has the HE power to deal with AT guns and infantry with ruthless efficiency. And when you have both vehicles nearby, you'll essentially have a heavy tank in A phase. You are going to be spending 300 points, and that's a lot of money early on, especially when you only have 80 points a tick, meaning that your flanks will be rather shoestring when it comes to your defensive budget. But overall, the Beute Firefly is either the best tank to have and will completely save your A phase, or is a useless piece of trash that you shouldn't even bother bringing in your deck. Once again, it just comes down to referring to the chart and whether you're going to be having any armoured threats to deal with during Phase A. But it's still great. I highly recommend just keeping it in your deck, as you never really know who you're going to play against, and it does phase well into B and C. And I'm going to leave it off here. It's been another Rang Rouge unit of the Reek. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.